For some reason, I had this huge obsession with my dick, and I would just take my dick, swing it around. Yeah, I like white girls. And I'm like grabbing her ass cheeks, stop some of the impact. And she's like, let me ride your dick. I was like, ah. She's like, I cheated, hello, I cheated again. I seen him walk out. I was like, you fucking hoe ass rat. Fuck you, bitch. Stupid ass fucking bitch. I just happened to be in the shower with Speed, which is his homie. I was in the shower with my cousin. I still remember how she came out hopped out of the tub. Just stepped out over, boom, running, titties jiggling. She was trying to cover up them big ass light skinned titties with areolas, covering up her pussy at the same time. Damn, can't give me a towel. That means she wouldn't like rocks. She dealing with one of the most heterosexual stallions. BBC slangers. Let me tell you guys a story. So I used to have this big habit, right? Back when razor phones were a thing. I was a teenager. Fuck it. For some reason, I had this huge obsession with my dick. So I used to randomly go in the mirror, stand in front of the mirror, make sure my abs was chiseling. I wasn't swole back then, but I had abs. And I would just take my dick, swing it around in the mirror, and just take random dick videos of me going like this, flapping it, swinging it, and doing all types of graphic shit. And girls I was talking to at that point in time, they would always want to fuck with my phone. So they would see these videos and get fascinated. So one time, when I used to do all this house party bullshit and everything like that, I used to go to a lot of house parties. They always got shot up and everything. So I'm at this house party. I'm thinking I'm swabby and swaggy. I got on my fake Bape hoodie, Air Forces, Rockaware jeans. I thought I was swagged. Had on my fucking fake ass iced watch, fake jewelry. I thought I was the shit. Had on a big white tee under it. I thought I was the fucking shit. Everybody thought I was fire at the party. Bitches was feeling me, everything. I thought I was the shit. I had people in that shit. I had people that I knew asking me, yo, can I borrow that Bape hoodie? Like, bro, like, blah, blah, blah. Can I borrow that Bape hoodie when you're done with it? Like, I thought I was swagged out like the Pharrell days. Back when Pharrell was on that fucking heavy Bape shit. So, it's an empty kitchen, bitch backing it up. Fucking, I'm dancing, everything. She's twerking on me, this and that. Party is lit. Party is just dope as fuck. Next thing you know, and mind you, I had my fucking cell phone in a holster back then because holsters was the shit. So next thing you know, somebody starts shooting up the party. And everybody starts going crazy. I'm trampling over bitches, stomping over people trying to get out. I'm running for my life. They're shooting all up in the garage. Boom, 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 boom. And I happen to get out, and I just felt like my stomach was gonna drop out of my body. I get out to a safe spot. My razor phone is gone with all my dick BBC swinging adolescent photos and videos in it. And I'm like, fuck. And I didn't, you didn't put locks in your phones and shit before. So I'm like, fuck. Whoever gets my phone is gonna see these BBC videos. And I was just panicking. I'm calling the phone over and over again. I'm calling the phone, of course. Back then if people stole your phones, they thought they hit the jackpot. Phone's gone. Boom. I keep calling, they don't answer. Next thing you know, like about a month later, one of my homegirls was like, yo, your phone was actually passed around such and such high school. And everybody's seeing your dick videos. I was like, what? They said, yeah, all the girls seen your dick videos. These dudes had your phone. They were showing all these bitches your dick videos. Why the dudes didn't give back the phone when they seen dick videos in it, I don't know. But it just passed around that whole high school that I was just slanging and twirling my dick like an Indiana Jones rope, trying to catch a cow. Like I just took the BBC, grabbed it, caught me a bitch and brought him back. But yeah, so I stopped doing dick videos ever since. All right, let's get back to Street Fighter 5. And I never got the phone back, by the way. All right, let's just tell a box story. So there used to be this girl, right? Well, she's obviously a woman now. But there used to be this, this chick.
Time for battle.
She used to be a hot, hold on. We'll talk about it after this. My bad, Mike was muted and I started telling the story. All right, so let's get to this story. So basically, hopefully nobody interrupts me. There was this Cuban girl, and you know, we met offline, you know, in the MySpace days or whatever. We were both teenagers, whatever. And fucking, so basically, the first time we met up, we smashed. She came through, I was wearing a baggy ass Sean John velour with forces with a, you know, with a white tee under it, 2 fake ass chains. I thought I was hot shit. She came through, we ended up smashing. From that point on, she became obsessed. No, she didn't have a fat ass. She had big ass titties though. If any of you niggas seen her back then, definitely you'd be like, oh my god, she's a fucking dime piece. Oh shit. She was very attractive, but so let's fast forward to all this shit. So me and this chick, we was battling for years, because when I met her, I was talking to her, but I never wanted to be in a relationship with her. Even when I was a teenager, I never wanted to be in a relationship with her because all she did was party. All you would see her is at parties and shit on social media, dancing, all this corny ass shit. And so I made somebody else my girlfriend. When she found out about that, she refused to stop fucking with me. So, hold on. Alright, so let's get back to the shit. So basically, this chick will do whatever I want. But she refused to stop fucking with me because she just couldn't get over the fact that I had actually got a girlfriend while I was talking to her. So for years, like, her and my girlfriend at the point in time would just basically battle each other. One time I let her come through and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I didn't know that she snapped a picture of her on my bed. She snaps a picture of herself on my bed with her bra, with her big ass titties, with like a face like, yeah, I did that. Posted all over MySpace, tags are in it. So I got caught up that way. Basically, one of the stories that, and this is a story where it gets mixed up for some reason. This is what, for all of you that don't know, this is the girl that actually ruined anal for me. It's not that fake ass story talking about, oh, where I did this story and it was about Elena or some shit. This had nothing to do with her. The anal story, it literally came from this girl, the Cuban piece. So the Cuban piece was willing to try everything with me. And I just wanted to get some things out of my system. So one of the reasons why I will never do anal again, right? For all of you that don't know, one of the reasons why I will never do anal in my life again is because I tried the anal with this chick. So I put the tip in. I'm putting it in. She's like, just moaning, screaming. Hold on, let me turn the camera on. And I put the tip in. She just moaning, screaming. I was like, you want me to stop? She's like, no, just keep going. This is what you want. Yeah, exactly. The hot dookie story. It's the same chick. But I'm going to tell you that part. Then I'm going to tell you the part where I just basically stopped smashing her. So basically, I could try to keep going. But I'm in, but I'm smelling like a huge gust of fart. And I was just like, I'm stroking, but I'm like, you guys ever like backshot a chick before and you like try to cover up the asshole while stroking because you didn't want to smell pussy? So you covered up that area so the fumes didn't come up and hit you. So you was just going to finish it. You know, you're just going to finish your smash, but try to cover up that stench. Right? So you just like, basically like it's just a horse, but you just covering up the shit. So I tried it, I couldn't handle it, I just took it out. All you could smell is just wind of just dookie, like dookie wind just hitting me in the nose. I was like, all right, fuck it. Put it out, pulled it out, rinsed it, got a cloth, said fuck it, I'll take the pussy instead. Never fucked anyone in the ass again. But one of the other stories, so she comes through late night after the club, dance practice, whatever the fuck she came through looking good, had on white pants, like a white sparkling bikini top, and of course she wanted the D. So she got undressed. I go to, you know, I didn't even do pussy eating or anything like that. I go to slide in and I smell like this cheese odor. And I pulled out and I was just like, I said, you know what, can we just postpone or something? And she was just like, why do you want to postpone? And she like got up and like stood against the wall like this. And she's like, why do you want to postpone? I didn't tell her, but I didn't have this same mouthpiece I did back then. So I didn't tell her because you was foul. I was just like, oh, I'm just not in the mood to fuck anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just not in the mood. And this bitch would not leave until I fucked her. So I was forced to fuck. I just went ahead, just got on top, smashed, got it over with. And I was forced to fuck, and she didn't leave till 5 a.m. Yeah, I was forced to fuck. After that, we didn't even really fuck around again like that anymore. Nah, but the infidelity story is this. So there was a point in time in my life where I just like cheated on every last girl because, you know, I was young and dumb. All I cared about was sneakers and bitches. Oh, there was plenty of times. It was medium hard. It wasn't like no full on BBC bulging with veins. So there was this time I was with this chick, but I just didn't care about fucking with multiple bitches. So I got this girl over, cascading, backshot and everything. We had a night full of sex, a night full of head, night full of sex, everything. This is when I still had my own apartment. It's like my first apartment. So I made up a story and told the girl that I was with, I told her I was tired, blah, blah, blah. Just try to make up some bullshit ass excuse that didn't even sound believable. And she had a key to my spot. So we had a night full of sex and everything. I keep checking my phone like, shit, hopefully this bitch don't show up because she probably think I'm on some bullshit. So it's like, I think it's like 5 in the morning. 5, 6 close in the morning. After I think I was in the middle of eating this girl out. This was after we had a night full of sex. I start to hear my door open, but my roommate is home. I start to hear my door open. I was like, what the fuck? I look out, and it's my actual girlfriend at the time. I look out the peephole, it's her. She's trying to get in. I'm like closing the door. I'm like relocking it. It's like, let me the fuck in, let me in. Going crazy, going wild. And I'm just like locking the door and everything. So I locked the door. And fucking I told the bitch, I was like, get dressed, get dressed. So matter of fact, my roommate wasn't home. This is what saved me. So my roommate wasn't home. So I told the bitch to get dressed. Had her. I was like, all right, I'm going to let you in. But I was like, the only reason I'm going to let you in is because you can't just come to my motherfucking house like this. Blah, blah, blah. So I told the other girl to go in my roommate's room. And I said, when I open the door, hop out the window. I opened the door, I had vagina juice all over my face and everything. But I tried to act like I was asleep. The other girl hops out the window. She comes in like, why the fuck did you open that fucking door? Who are you fucking? Goes, checks rooms. But of course she wasn't going to check my roommate's room. Checks rooms and everything like that. And basically I got away with it because she hopped out of my fucking roommate's room. But I still couldn't really explain the vagina juice. I told her like I was just having wild sleep and was slobbering everywhere. But basically, yeah. The bitch hopped out of my roommate's room, which was on the other side of the apartment. And yeah, basically I never got caught. But with that girl, I got caught cheating so many times. But that was, I don't know. I was just young and stupid as fuck. See what I'm saying, man? When you're black and you get famous, stay far away from coons. Just stay so far away from coons. I'm telling you, man, black people, you get out of a pit, they just want to pull you back down. Want to hate on you. Not all niggas, but the majority of them. When you get paper, shit, move into a white neighborhood, let your kids go to a fucking prep ass school, like, just get them away from that type of shit. Trust me, being a black kid that grew up to when I had to figure out the transition from private school to public school and deal with those type of dumbass niggas when I was a child, trust me, dude. I remember, me and my sister, we went to this school called Western Avenue when we were in elementary. And we had to catch the bus. This is when my mom couldn't afford private school no more. We would always be, this is how my childhood was. We would be like in private school for a while, have to go back to public. My mom would find another private school, get a better job, put us back in private. We'd have to hop out from private to public, private to public, private to public. Any fucking ways. That school, Western Avenue, for some reason, like, I don't know why, but the whole school bus full of niggas used to basically bully us. So we'd have to run home from school and they would just start clap. They'd be like, time to get your beating. Time to get your beating. We gonna fuck y'all up after school when you get off the fucking bus. And I would tell my sister, I'd be like, when we get off the bus, just run. So we would dead ass be, when we got tired of running, it would be like a bunch of kids just shouting shit at us, talking shit. But then we started running. And we did that for a very long time. And then fucking, I don't know, finally, I think what happened was the icing on the cake was this girl would always bully my sister. And I told her, she's like, big bro, like blah, blah, blah. She keeps trying to poke me with this needle. I said, listen, after we get out of school today, when we get off the bus, when she tries to do something to you, sock her in her stomach. And I'm gonna just grab you and we're just gonna fucking run. We gonna book it like we always do. When we outside, we're just gonna start running. Cause, you know, we used to always be outside running and shit. And so soon as she did, I said, sock her. I held the girl and my sister socked her in her stomach. And we just start running home. Now, where's this school at? I'm about to Google it. I'll tell you how far we ran. Western Avenue Elementary. All right, damn, that's crazy. It's like it's eerie to see that school on Google right now. I don't know what's up with my fucking Wi-Fi. But, so Western Avenue was off of it's off of 53rd. We stayed on 51st. On 51st Street. So this school is off of 51st Street West. We stayed off of 51st Street West. I know it sounds like it's not a lot of blocks, but that's a long way home. So we was just running, and the kids would not stop chasing us. I don't remember getting tired. So the kids would not stop chasing us, and I guess the girl that I told my sister to sock in the stomach, basically, her big brother, he was just like, man, he told everybody, he's like, stop. He's like, why are we even fucking with them? And they was like, cause you started it. He was like, yeah, but this shit is getting old. He's like, why don't you just stop? Like, they just too quiet kids. They don't do anything. And he just got tired of seeing us get bullied every day after school. And after that, the kids never fucked with us again. We told my mom about it. She shipped us off to another school. And we never went back to Western Avenue. So, I lived in this apartment complex. That had a lot of black people in it. Mind you, growing up, I always had problems with black people, right? Because I was never black enough. I was too quiet. I was quote unquote soft. I was light skinned. So, that nigga is soft. He's light skinned. That nigga's not with the shits, blah, blah, blah. So, me and my friends were into wrestling, all that type of shit. We were the geeks of the apartments, right? Then there was the people with their parents bought them all the fucking Jordans, all that type of shit. They had all the gear, all the fucking FUBU, whatever the fuck was out back then, right? So one time I finally felt like I was getting cool with the black people in the apartments. So I felt like I had a little bit of swag, right? So they're sitting over here talking about all the bitches in the apartments. They're recording these bitches. It was like they was recording these bitches with camcorders, talking about they were doing pornos with all the bitches in the apartments. We were talking about who looks good in the apartments, who doesn't, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I think her name was Rhonda or some shit. So I don't give a fuck about this dirty ass bitch. But, so her name was Rhonda. Like, man, we did a big ass orgy. We fucked Jasmine. We fucked Rhonda, blah, blah, blah. We was recording these bitches, man. We've been slutting these bitches out, blah, blah, blah. They were just talking about who was ratted, who was not. So my dumb ass because I heard these stories. I'm thinking like, man, this would be a quick way to fuck. I end up like seeking out the rat bitch in the apartments named Rhonda, right? I end up, you know, talking to her, telling her I liked her, shit like that. Ask her to be with me. Every day I went to school and had to dress out for PE. These black niggas that lived in my apartments was like, yo, you still go out with Rhonda? You don't gotta go out to hit. She a rat. We all fucked. You still go out with Rhonda, my nigga? Every day they ask me, do I still go with Rhonda? Do I still go every fucking day till we were done? We fuck, my nigga. You don't gotta go out to hit, my nigga. We already hit. You ain't gotta go out to hit. She a rat. Every day. You still go out with Rhonda Tuesday. You still go out with Rhonda Wednesday. You still go out with Rhonda. And I'm just like, I just put my head down in shame. And man, the homies is low-key fucking right now, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I'm with her. I'm calling her every day. There'd be some times where I would call so much, the mom would block my number. I'd be like, I didn't know until I was older. How come when I called, it said this person's not accepting calls at this time? You guys know, like when caller ID, there's like something you could do to block the number so they can't call your phone. I'm thinking like, damn, what happened? I'll leave messages on the voicemail and shit. Like not even giving a fuck that she had like a full-blown family. And you know, we'd be talking, and I used to always wear these same pants and these same Iversons. And, you know, I wasn't thinking like it was a bad thing for me to wear these same pants and these same Iversons. I just thought, okay, these are my best pants and my best shoes, so I'm going to put it on. And I would go outside her window and talk to her for like hours. And she'd be like, what kind of pants you got on today? And I would show her, and she'd be like, oh, you wearing those again? I'd be like, yeah. Because I'm oblivious to swag, and I'm oblivious to like any of this type of shit, right? So I'm thinking, you know, once I got older, I was like, man, this bitch probably just thought I was trash. Like I didn't have no swag. I was wearing the same pants and shiny tip black Iversons over and over again, right? So after all this time of me trying to fuck, I'm with this bitch for like 3-4 months, still haven't beat, but everybody else saying they fucked already, recorded her on pornos, everything. Mind you, my mom couldn't stand her because she heard all the slut stories and everything like that. So one night I finally was able to get her to sneak out. Man, I was finally able to get this bitch to sneak out. My mom was asleep. I didn't have a lock on my door either. My mom was asleep. I was like, yeah, come over tonight. She's like, all right, I'm gonna come over. That's how she talks. All right, I'm gonna come over. I'm thinking like, I'm finally about to beat. I'm finally about to fuck. I get her in. Boom, we land down in my twin size bed. Cause me and my sister had bunk beds. We were kids, but once we got our own rooms, we detached them. And she got her twin size in her room. I got my twin size in my room. So we're laying there. Boom, slid off the drawers. I slid it in. I was like, am I in? She's like, yeah, keep going. I was like, you sure I'm in? She's like, yeah, keep going. I didn't feel absolutely nothing when I slid in at all. I didn't feel no types of warmth, no types of resistance. I swear to you, I did not feel anything slid in. I looked down, I was in. I didn't feel anything. Mind you, this bitch was we were both hella young. No resistance, no wall. Exactly. No walls at 14, blah, blah, blah. So I'm taking a couple strokes and I was like, all right, well, let me go check and see if my mom is up. Listen to the door. My mom was snoring. Boom. I was like, all right, cool. So we go in there. I finished the air smash or something like that. And we're done and we're sitting on the bed, just kind of laying there or whatever. And I hear something like, and my mom walks in. And I was like, oh shit. Cause my mom told me, don't have that hoe in my house. Don't have that hoe in my house. My mom walks in. She's like, what'd I tell you about having this hoe in my house? She's like, get this bitch. She's like, get this hoe ass little bitch out of my house. My mom goes over there, I swear, and socks the girl. I'm not making this shit up. The girl's laying down like this. My mom goes and socks the girl in her chest. It's like, get out of my house, hoe. Get out of my house, hoe. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, fuck. Because I was scared of my mom until I was like a 10th grader. So I'm like, oh, shit. She was like, your ass is grounded. She's like, I told you not to have these hoes in my house. I told you that girl is bad news. She's a hoe. Then she called up. Then my mom did some gangster shit. She called up the girl's mom at 3 o'clock in the morning and told her that she socked her in the chest for being in her house, and she caught her having sex with her son or whatever the fuck she thought we were doing. So, long story short, my mom told me not to ever see her again. I still was seeing her because my mom always worked like 90% of the time. So me and my sister, we did whatever we want. She said don't have people over. We had people over. Who gives a shit? We did whatever we wanted. My mom was a workaholic, single parent, blah, blah, blah. So, one day, my homie brings over this dude named David. And they used to come over my house after school. We used to come over, fuck around, play basketball, play video games, all that type of shit. Nah, it wasn't foul. Play basketball, that type of shit. And one day, Rhonda came over when the homie's homie was over. And they kind of like started vibing. And I guess I wasn't a thug or anything like that. I guess she liked niggas that seemed like they was a thug or act like they was banging blood and all that type of shit. I was a square. I just was never that type of nigga. So, one day I came home and the homie and my other homie was already in the house with my sister and Rhonda. And I was like, I told my sister, I said, why did you let these niggas in when I wasn't home? She's like, well, it's Brandon. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I said, all right, well, don't ever let these niggas in here when I'm not here. Like, they beat me home from school and then you got this bitch over here. I was like, things are looking different. Maybe I should be telling this hold on. Let me say how I said it back then. I said, why would you have them over? Like, don't let them in when I'm not home. So she's like, all right, I won't let him in. I come home like literally the next day. These niggas are already there again. And my sister's like, ooh, they was in the bathroom. I don't know what they was doing. She's talking about the homie's homie was in the bathroom with the chick I was dating or whatever. Like they was in the bathroom fucking around. I don't know what they was doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked her what happened. She said, you know what? She's like, we can't fuck around no more. I ain't trying to be with you no more. I'm gonna fuck with David. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with David. She's like, you just not doing it for me. So I took it on the chin. And every day I would hop that wall and come to school. He had a car too. So his car would be parked back there and they would be fucking in the whip. Every night you would see his whip in the back of the apartment. Because you could see it from my house. You could see his whip from the back of the apartment. They was in that car for hours smashing. It was rocking and everything. Every time I hopped the wall, they was fucking around for a long time. And I learned my lesson that the niggas told me in apartments, you don't got to go out to hit. She's a hoe. We recorded her. She's a rat. All I got was one hot, warm, not even warm, hot, empty whole session. After that, she was smashing the homie's homie. And that's what happened. That's one of my younger stories about how I got fucked over from a rat. I loved women's human anatomy before I could even fuck or jack off. I just always remember growing up just loving women. Just how they looked, tits, ass. I was just like a 6-year-old boy just being so turned on by women. That I still got this vivid image in my head still of my mom's friend when I was about 8 years old coming out of the shower. Light skin with them big ass titties, big hips, big areolas, hairy ass pussy, asking me to get her a towel. I will never forget. Ever. I'll never forget that shit. She wasn't mad, no. She told me, she's like, could you give me a towel? Obviously, you guys know my government. She's like, Dale, could you give me a towel, please? And I was just like, and she's like, give me a towel. And I got her a towel. I still remember how she hopped out of the tub. Just stepped out over, boom, running. Titties jiggling. She was trying to cover up the big ass light skinned titties with areolas. Covering up her pussy at the same time. Dale, can you give me a towel? I was like, I never, ever forgot it, and I never will. And one day I hope I find her so I can see how she looks. At this point in time, I would have to be able to smash, right? Every time I talk to my mom, I'll be like, yo, mom, when's the last time you talked to Candace? She's like, why do you always ask me that every time we get on the phone? I was like, I'm just curious to see how she looks now. See if she held herself up. She's like, no, I haven't heard from her in years. We haven't talked in such and such. We haven't talked since we moved from LA. I really wish I could find her just so I can get some of that 50-something-year-old badge. Just give her that young piping BBC. Squeeze them big ass giant motherfucking menopause titties. And don't even gotta pull out. I'm just thrusting, knowing them. Pussy don't work no more accurate. Just remembering when I was 8 years old. Just smacking that ass cheek, smacking the other one, squeezing a titty. But I'll probably never find her again. Well, I don't think I've ever seen one of my old teachers in public. I did one time, bro. I seen one of my teachers one time. Brian0227, shout out for the 10 months. I'll never forget it. So
Raj means ghetto chat.
I had this bullshit ass job, right? When I say bullshit job, you know what job I'm talking about, guys. So I'm working the back. This was some years ago, obviously. I'm working the back. He comes in the back with his girl giving some fucking like used shit. He was like, are you one of my, he's like, were you in my math class? Were you one of my students? Like this Cuban dude. I looked at him, I said, Mr. Such and Such? He said, what are you doing here? Bro, this dude fucking blew a gasket, bro, because anytime I've had a job anywhere, customers always told me I didn't belong there. You're better than this. Why the fuck are you here? Something like, is there anything I could do to help to get you out of this situation? Like, he was like, what are you doing here? I was like, just got to pay some bills like this, this is where I work just for the time being. He said, oh no. He said, no. He said, honey, he said, is this the management job at the apartment complex? He's like, is it still, oh, bro, when I tell you this dude was in his phone for like 15 minutes trying to make any connect that he possibly could to see me leave that fucking job, bro, he was so fucking disappointed, bro. He was so disappointed in me. Like, anytime that I've had a regular job, strangers, now remember, strangers are not going to lie to you. Anytime strangers have seen me at a regular job, they were always disappointed. They always told me I could do better. I see you doing better things. This is not you. What are you doing here? You're too this, you're too that. I don't see you at this job. Bro, customers at any job I had used to literally harass me for working there. And I mean, not harass me in a bad way, but harass me like, what the fuck are you doing at this job? Why are you here? Little do you know, fast forward, I'm LowTierGod, so. What do? I'll tell him. I'll just be like, after the first encounter, I'll text him and be like, yo, you had a slight aroma. Like, it was this one time, this chick thought that she was like a fire piece. I was like, so we banged or whatever. And, she came through. We ended up banging or whatever. Me, I don't ever make moves on a chick either. I'll just lay there and just watch a movie. I put on a movie and I'll just lay there. And I just let them make the move. Cause me, I'm not the one sitting there horny or anything like that. I'd be like, all right, is she gonna top me, or I'm gonna just lay here? I'm gonna make sure I'm smelling all good. Just got finished doing push-ups, making sure my biceps are solid, chest chiseled, abs to pop. And I just lay back. And back to the story, the chick low-key got frustrated. Yeah, it's almost a rare that I ever make a move on a woman. I just don't. Because to me, a woman it's just sexier when she wants it. So we just land next to each other, and she's like, you know what? Enough with this movie. Like, let's get down to business. You know what I came here for. I was like, well, shit, okay. I thought she had great tits. She took off the shirt. Tits, gravity hit them a little bit more. It was like the type where you flip them and they just fall. It wasn't perky. It was like I said, it was the type of titty where it can cuff over the index and the thumb. And, you know, she was on top of me and shit like that. We didn't start fucking yet, but I was squeezing her tits. I hate kissing in general. But I went ahead, kissed her, got it over with, whatever. Took off her shirt, was not impressed with the tits. Let me tell you guys something. Titties, almost 95%, always look better in the bra. Titties almost always look worse outside the bra. Usually they flat. Boobs are great to look at in a nice bra. Soon as you pop those shits out, gravity hits them and they boom boom. That's why I like small titties better than big ones, because small ones are like perfect and they just like, they barely, gravity didn't really attack them that much, and their nipples are like bomb little pepperonis. That's the kind that you don't even have to do too much. They're just out there already. You can just hurry up and start sucking them. You know what I'm saying? Those big titties, you gotta suck the nipple out of the titty. That's why I don't really, big titties, I don't know. If you got them, cool, but if you don't, I'm not tripping. Just please have some ass. So, you know, we basically get down to business. Now, she fucked up for one because she didn't give me dome. When a chick does not give me top, you ruined the whole sexcapade. Head is required. I don't care if your top's trash. Most chicks' top ain't phenomenal anyway. You gotta coach them, but top must be a thing. If the vagina does not come with the head, I don't want it, and I'm not gonna be able to operate at a full extension. You're gonna get that lukewarm BBC, that, you know, that swingable BBC. You're not gonna get that hardcore rock. So she didn't even want to, not that she didn't want to, she just didn't top. I was thinking, like, why would she not blow me? Like, so I was already turned off that, but I was just gonna fulfill with the job because she was like, all right, look, what are we doing, blah, blah, blah. So this chick was extremely confident. You know, I lay her down, get on top, start stroking. I mean, it was okay, but I'm not fascinated with the feeling of 90% of vaginas. I slide in, I'm stroking, faking it, all that type of shit, acting like it was good. She loved it or whatever. So I was like, flip over. So she bends over, puts her ass super in the air. I start to stroke. Take a couple of strokes. And you know, I kind of like let my dick fall out a bit. And then I get a whiff of like the typical vagina smell. That fishy pussy aroma, and I just went like this. She was bent over and I just kind of reared back. I just kind of like reared all the way back and just hit like this, because I was just trying to, I didn't want to smell shit, so I was gonna finish for her, but I just kind of held her ass at a distance and just stroked from afar. You know, got it over with. And now this chick was mediocre. I had kicked it with her a couple of times because, and she was like, I'm wondering why you didn't like try to make any moves on me or anything. I said, cause I was just enjoying your company. Like me, I don't ever put sex into the equation when it comes to women. I never bring up, oh, let's fuck. I don't do that type of shit. If we get to it, cool. If not, hey man, see you in the next lifetime. So she told me some funny shit. She was like, yeah, so when am I gonna get that dick again? I was like, shit, whenever I have a little bit of time. She's like, all right, cool. And she was like, you're lucky that I let you fuck me in the first place. I'm thinking in my head, like, hold on a second. I grabbed my mirror. You know, the kind where you do your hair. I grabbed my mirror. No, she was Egyptian. I grabbed my mirror and I just stared at myself. And I was like, did this bitch just tell me that I was lucky to fuck her? For one, she was like 5'1". If you're short, I'm already turned off because we can't procreate. So if you're too short, we can't even really, our genetics shouldn't even be mixing in the first place. Like, I shouldn't even be smashing you anyway. So I looked in the mirror, I was like, man, this bitch is short. The pussy had an aroma to it. She didn't top me. And it's not even somebody I would like look twice at if I was in a grocery store. It was just kind of like, you know, it was a job or something like that. So I told her in the text message, she's like, yeah, I still haven't healed up yet anyway. I said, let me be honest with you. And I text her. And I said, not to be blah, 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 but the vagina had a slight aroma to it. She's like, what do you mean slight aroma? I said, it had a scent. Like, when you bent over and I was smashing from the back, it had a scent. And she's like, whatever. She's like, that's bullshit. She's like, my vagina never has a scent. I was just like, okay. Well, I'm just letting you know, just for future references, whether it's me or somebody else, your vagina had a scent. Never heard from her again. And I don't give a fuck either. I don't know, it's crazy to me how like a chick can be bougie or arrogant and your pussy can stink. Like, how many women can you take a finger, go inside their vagina and pull it out and it's just not gonna smell like nothing? But then you got the right to be arrogant at all or acting like I gotta work for something that could have a smell to it? Nah. You know, shit was really cool, but everything was leading up, whatever. Shit was cool. She was light skinned. She had a white mom, black dad, blah, blah, blah. Typical bitch. I wasn't really worried about ass crazy like that back then. I was just like, oh, she's light skinned. She's got good hair. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up being in a quote unquote relationship. We were together for quite some time. I ended up dropping all my other bitches for her too. Hold on a minute. Let me reset this shit. Stupid ass fucking dog again. Every night they got the window open for this fucking goddamn mutt. Any fucking ways, being in a quote unquote relationship. I remember I had a whole roster. I had an Asian chick. I had a ice queen with ass, but she had a kid. So I really was gonna do shit with her like that on that type of level. But she had ass, she had tits. Then I had another random light-skinned black chick. Then I had this girl. So I had like 4 or 5 bitches on my roster at that time. So once I got with this chick, I like got sprung. So I got with her, went on fucking whatever, let everybody know that I was fucking with this new bitch, blah, blah, blah. I'm like posting up shit. I think I dropped all my bitches for her, bro. And then, long story short, she got this job at the mall. This like clothing store at the mall. So every time I call her, the phone calls and shit like that was getting more slim. Every time I would text her, she would never respond. So when I would call her, she would always be at this fucking store at the mall. I'd be like, yo, hello? She'd be like, hello? I'd be like, what you up to? She'd be like, oh, at such and such? I'm like, at that store? She's like, yeah, with my friend Blind Daryl. I said, why the fuck would you be there kicking it with 2 niggas? She's like, well, they're my friends. And this bitch would just, bro, I swear, every time I called and it was midday, she would be over there like in that store kicking it with these niggas. No, it's not the lap story. See, I got other ones too. So one time when I called her, I was like, yo, hello? I was like, where you at? Blah, blah, blah. Long story short. She's like, oh, I work here now. They gave me a job. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, you supposed to be working with these niggas too? So long story short, she ended up partying with these niggas all the time, working with these dudes, like everything. So she ended up fucking with one of the other guys. So one time I called her and I was like, hello? She's like, yeah, hello. I said, what are you doing? She's like, I'm in the movies with such and such. I said, what the fuck you mean you in the fucking movies with him? She's like, we're just friends. And then she hangs up. Bitch was going to the movie. And this nigga ugly as fuck looked like a Ninja Turtle. Like, I never could fathom and understand. I think maybe it's because he had like all the shoes and clothes and shit back then and everything. That nigga had all his SBs, Bape, all that shit. Fake ass story. Nigga, shut your whack, worthless ass up. Nigga, your life sucked. The fuck out of my stream, bitch. Just cause I got stories, some worthless ass, pointless, useless ass gonna come in here that was a sub for 9 months talking about a fake story. Nigga, get the fuck out of my stream, nigga. It's not a story I ever told about myself in the past that was fake. Suck a dick. Somebody else said it. Mods, ban anybody in here talking about a fake story. These bum ass niggas don't understand. Any fucking way. So the nigga had all the clothes, all the shoes, everything, had a Benz thing even back then. So, long story short, the nigga was like, she was promoting there was gonna be this lingerie party, everything like that. He was promoting because he was like a fake little club party promoter and shit and all that too. He was like way older too. Nigga had to be like 10 years older. Any fucking ways. They're promoting this lingerie party. So I asked her, I said, can I go? She was like, I don't think you're invited because he doesn't know you. I said, why the fuck you gotta know me if it's a public lingerie party? So, long story short, she told me she was going to the party. I wasn't fucking invited. So me and my homie, we had a camcorder and everything, bro. Me and my homie, we actually pull up over there. We search for the apartment because we knew what complex it was in, but we end up fucking searching for the apartment. We just seen what was going to be lit. We peeking through the window and everything like that. Bro, I must have wanted to grab one of the big ass bricks and bash it through the window and we was just going to take off. I'm calling, the bitch didn't answer, bro. Where we must have looked through the blinds. I'm peeking through the blind. I swear I see her like sitting on the dude's lap, dancing with him, everything like that. One of the blinds, nigga, just had to be open. I literally see her in this black lingerie tutu looking skirt, sitting on the nigga's lap, everything. I was blowing her up all night. The bitch was not answering. I'm blowing her up, blowing her up, blowing her up, blowing her up, not answering, not answering, not answering. Bro, this bitch must have called me in the morning like, hello. I said, what? She's like, oh, I got so drunk last night, blah, 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 and I cheated on you. I'm like, what the fuck? You cheated, baba? I was like, you fucking stupid ass bitch. Like, I loved calling girls bitches back then. Now I don't care. You do some lame shit, I'm like, all right, back to life. Any fucking ways. Bitch said she cheated. I told her she didn't come over right now. It's over. That's how you know I was a dumbass nigga. I told her right now, if you don't come over, it's a wrap, blah, blah, blah. She came over. The night after she said she cheated, she came over, I fucked her. Thought we was back together, was cool. Yeah, it's that one. Thought we was back together, was cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm over acting like I got my bitch back after she just came from a night of just being a straight up THOT. Kari, DJ21, shut up for the 2 months. So I'm like thinking shit's cool. I'm thinking we back, this and that. She starts acting the same exact fucking way. Calls weren't getting answered, so on and so forth, everything. Long story short, fast forward. I'm not going to tell the story how I told it back in the day. I don't need to be that animated. I don't care. Fast forward, I invite her to a movie. She said she didn't want to see that particular movie. Swore up and down the movie was going to be trash. Blah, blah, blah. Bitch flaked on me, didn't pick up the phone. I kept calling. Bitch just told me she cheated again. She was like, I cheated, hello, I cheated again, blah, blah, blah. Bitch says she cheated again. I see them at the same exact fucking movie that night because I ended up giving a ticket to my homie. And that comes with me slamming my head into the fucking steering wheel. Like I was slamming my head into this fucking steering wheel. Like, boo, 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 boo. I was like, fucking stupid bitch. I'm like slamming my fucking head into the steering wheel like as hard as I fucking could. Anyways, got over it. Literally went to the fucking movies. Didn't even think I was gonna see her there. I ended up seeing her come into the same movie with this ugly Ninja Turtle ass nigga. I didn't want to cause no commotion, whatever. So when we left, I seen him walk out. I was like, you fucking hoe ass rat. You fucking bitch ass hoe. Fuck you, bitch. Stupid ass fucking bitch. I'm just yelling in the parking lot and they just walking away. I just didn't give a fuck. Went home. Had all these fake ass chains on and shit. Bro, I still remember what I was wearing and everything. I had on like some blue and white Air Force Ones, hoodie, fake ass chains, fake ass iced out bracelet, a fake ass Jacob and Co. I'm like, I went home, immediately recorded a YouTube video, put that shit on social media. I was like, yeah, this stupid ass bitch. I ended up seeing this stupid ass bitch. I wish I still had the video. Oh my God, if I still had that video. Oh, that shit would have been so crazy to watch. I'm like, yeah, this stupid ass bitch was lying to me. You a stupid ass fucking bitch. You a fucking hoe. I knew you was fucking lying. Bro. Anyways, yeah. I have like infinite stories about bitches who did me foul, but that's what made me the man I am today. What happened to the video? Got lost in the sauce. Are we still cool? Fuck no. I ended up fucking her some years after that though, like way after. It was just like some years after that shit, bro. Like, yeah, I know there's lots of people that do that because there's lots of people out there that believe they're not dirty. I remember there was this bitch back in like 2013. It was like some, I'm not gonna say what ethnicity she was, but she wasn't black. This bitch would take a piss, everything, and she was real adamant about not washing her hands. And this bitch tried to put her hand in my fucking mouth. She was like, yeah, I just got finished pissing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, did you wash your hands? She's like, I don't wash my hands when I urinate. I don't wash my hands when I shit either. I just wipe and I go. And I was like, your shit has to be just reach. She's like, please don't test me. I'll make you taste my pussy. I was like, all right, listen, we don't even need to go there. So she takes her fucking goddamn hand, shoves it in her pants, and tries to put it to my mouth. And all I smell is like a gust of like In-N-Out onions. That's all I smelled was a gust of In-N-Out onions. I remember my first girlfriend when I was 16. My first girlfriend when I was 16. Now, of course, I'm a lot different now and shit like that, but my first girlfriend at 16, she would always get these weird ass calls and shit like that. Come to terms, I don't know, I just couldn't do it, man. I'd be like, listen, baby, like, me and you, we can't have sex. Well, why is that? Like, you told me about what happened in the past. I'm not judging you, but for me as a man, like, I want to respect you enough to where I feel like I mentally can't do that for you. So I had a girlfriend when I was 16. It was my first girlfriend. And she told me that she was taken advantage of by 2 dudes. And I asked her in detail. This was like after we were like fucking for a whole summer and everything. I asked her in detail. I was like, I said, what really happened? She was like, I was kicking it with such and such. It was this girl's name, I know her. She was like, I was kicking it with such and such. And she was at my house and she called these 2 guys over. And, you know, like, I was like, what? Just tell me. Like, you know, I'm 16. You know, young guys do it, whatever. I'm like, what? Just tell me. What if a girl forcefully busted your cheeks with a strap on? I mean, if a woman could overpower me enough to bust my cheeks with a strap on, maybe I deserved it. But let me get back to my story. So I asked her what happened. She told me that she got forced to fuck both the dudes. I said, what do you mean by fucked? By like forced? She said she had to top the dude off while getting back shotted. She had to dome up the dude in all types of different ways while the friend fucked. I never told you guys this story. And she basically said they just had their way with her, busted like multiple times. And for some reason, I never understood because the dudes were still calling her phone. I said, why aren't these dudes in jail? Like, isn't this like a rape case? She said, yeah, like we went to court for it, but for some reason they're not in jail right now. I said, didn't you report this shit? She was like, yeah, it's an ongoing case. And I just never understood, like, But when I talked to her homegirl about it, she told me, she's like, listen, she was like, I don't, regardless of what such and such told you, like she let both of them niggas fuck, like on my niece. I swear to God, she let both of them niggas fuck. I was like, according to her, she's saying that you put her in a predicament where she felt like she was forced to smash these dudes. She was like, listen to me, look at me, my nigga. She was like, she let both of them niggas fuck. Like, regardless of what you want to think, I know you think she's sexy, everybody thinks she pretty, she an angel, but she fucked both of them niggas. All I did was call them over, and she agreed to everything else. Them niggas didn't do that. I was just like, so I was like, all right. On my knees. But I don't know, I got endless stories. Like, no, the story I told you guys was another girlfriend I had that she told me she was going over her friend's house or some stupid ass shit like that. I was like 18. Another girlfriend I had, she told me that she was going over her friend's house. She's like, yeah, I'm going over Rebecca's house tonight, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. I said, I don't really like your friend. I don't trust her because she's like, the word thought wasn't out. So I was like, she's like on some slut shit. She's like, don't talk about my fucking friend like that. Like, you're supposed to be my fucking man, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, that's cool, but your friend is like known for being like a hoe. So, that was the one where the chick was like, I called her, she didn't answer, some shit like that, and I didn't hear from her from the rest of the night. Then she called me in the morning like, hello? I was like, what's up, babe? I was like, I didn't hear from you last night. Like, what happened? You know, this is like before the world destroyed my brain and let me know what the fuck the world really was and shit like that. You know, everything's still new to me. The world's still gold. I'm like, hello? It's like, yeah, babe, like, I said, why are you crying? What's going on? Like, I didn't hear from you last night. Hold on, let me make my voice extra high. I was like, hello? She's like, babe, like, I said, why are you crying? I didn't hear from you last night. She's like, because last night, like, I got drunk. I said, all right, well, that's cool. You got drunk. And she's like, yeah, but I got drunk. And then, like, remember that dude I told you about that had a crush on me? I said, yeah, what about him? Like, why are you bringing him up? Well, like, all I remember is, like, me being drunk and then, like, the lamp being on and then the lamp turning off. And then I woke up in a bathtub with no clothes. I was like, did you fuck him? I don't know what happened, babe. Like, but I'm sorry. I love you. It's like, well, what are you sorry about if you didn't fuck him? I don't know what happened. I just remember the lamp cutting off, and I just remember, like, waking up in a tub with no clothes. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was just, like, kind of, like, tearing up with her and shit, like a little bitch. You know, of course you're gonna do this when you're a fucking kid. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, man, like, why did you go over there? I told you not to chill with Rebecca. Like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm sorry, babe. And then we just got over it, because I was a cuck back then. Anyways. Man, I'll never forget, right? So I'll never forget. I think I was about like fucking, I wasn't 12. I was 11. I was 11. And me and one of my friends at the time, I still know him to this day, but he like moved to another state and got like 50 kids now. Me and my friend, we go around the apartments trying to get girls to flash us, trying to get girls to show us their asses, flashes. You know, we was naughty little boys. You know, we was trying to see naked shit early. So it was this dyke or stud or whatever like that when we were 11. Tomboy, you know, baggy pants, everything like that. You know, we would do kid shit. We would fucking, hold on. We would do kid shit. We would fucking like, you know, go over there, push her, run from her and shit like that. She would chase us, whoever the fuck. And we'd be in competition. So if whoever pushed her and whoever she chased, that meant that she was feeling whoever she chased, right? So we did enough flirting with the stud chick and everything like that. Finally, was like, yeah, man, we kept calling. This is how we used to get chicks to show us their tits and everything like that. Even grown ass women, I swear, me and my friend were 11 years old. We would literally be getting chicks to show us titties and everything we'd be like, man, you scary. They'd be like, what are you talking about scary? We'd be like, man, you scary. You won't show us no titties. You scary. And it would work every single time. We'd be like, you don't got no ass. You don't got no ass. Now, what are you talking about? I do have ass. You little ass boys don't know about ass. So we'd be like, yeah, right. You don't have no ass, blah, blah, blah. Just, doing typical kid shit. So with the stud chick, long story short, basically, we told the stud chick, like, man, you won't show us you don't even have a pussy. You don't got a pussy, you got a dick. We already know you got a dick. We just clowning her, talking about she got a fucking dick. She don't have a pussy, this and that. She's like, I do got a pussy. What the fuck y'all niggas talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, you got a pussy. Hold on, my bad. We was like, nah, you got a dick. You got a dick. We just kept roasting her, blah, blah, blah. She got frustrated. She's like, what, you want to see it? It's like, yeah, show us. But we got to get close, though. So we went to the side of the apartments. Went to the side of the fucking apartments where it was like this little like dark area with bushes and it was a gate. So, Dela Cruz was on some other shit. He was too busy playing with Pokemon cards and shit. So, basically, we got her on the side of the house. She unzips her pants. And I kid you not. Damn, I wish I had a bigger camera. I kid you not. When she unzipped her pants and flashed her pussy, you could literally smell the Monterey Jack goat cheese. Now look how far I am from my fucking area. Can you guys see me on camera? Can you see me? You can literally smell the Monterey Jack goat cheese from that far away. That bitch's pussy stunk so fucking bad. That shit smelled like straight up feta cheese, Monterey Jack goat cheese. And you could just see the buildup all in her pussy. You just see when she flashed the pussy, you just see a bunch of like white crud, tissue, Redenbacher popcorn bits, like anything white and cruddy and shit. You was seeing it and we smelt it from so far away and we just ran. We ran from her. I'm telling you guys, I got so many fucking stories. It's not even funny. I got infinite stories about foul ass pussy. Never forget, this was when I was like 18, right? So I had this Filipino girlfriend. She was like my second real girlfriend. Yeah, she was my second real girlfriend. And we used to smash all the time and everything like that. I never smelled pussy or anything, but eventually I started smelling vagina. And it was like a stench vagina. And one time we were in the shower and I get on my knees to suck her clit. And it kind of like tasted like this salty, like, it's like this salty, it's hard to explain, salty but bitter smell, and it had a scent to it. But I was 18, so I wasn't LTG yet. Nothing, right? I wasn't even Delon Sparrow yet. So I didn't have this attitude or anything like that. So I lift up the head of her clit when we were in the shower, because we used to shower and shit together. My mom was always at work, so I was doing shit I had no business doing. I lifted up the head of her clit, and she just had all this just gook and just cheese up under her clit. And I was like, I scooped a little bit, and I was like, you know you gotta lift the head of your clit and clean this, right? And she's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, babe, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, like that, you gotta get up under there. After that, I never smelled their pussy foul again. She cleaned up the problem. So some chicks, you could clean them up. I mean, of course, I wouldn't go for that shit now, but she fixed the problem. Of course, we didn't last, because, yeah. But, you know, I still know her to this day. She's a cool chick, got like 3 kids and shit now with a husband. But it's just crazy, like, when I think about stories like that. Like like a lot of these chicks that I see acting like bad bitches and all that, I be seeing these stories of like, man, little do these people know like this bitch's pussy stinks. Last white girl I did, I did deliver the pipe to. She told me that the usual, I was the first black guy she ever had sex with. I wish I could explain to you how she looked. But she was sexy. Big, juicy titties. Nice, thick body. Could glurp and gargle a mean dick. Could reverse cowgirl like no other. Ass. Extra wet, hot, tight, and juicy pussy. Yeah, I like white girls. Let's go. I'll never forget one time when she was riding. She was on top and I just grabbed both of her big white ass cheeks. And she was trying to ride me hard. And you know, I'm trying to pace myself. And she just ride me hard. And I'm like grabbing her ass cheeks to stop her from bouncing so hard on my dick because I'm trying not to bust. And I'm like grabbing her ass cheeks like this, trying to stop some of the, you know, stop some of the impact. And she's like, let me ride your dick. And she just starts just, I was like, So I just had to like, you know, I just had to concentrate, but true story though. Yeah, Rotten.com literally will put demons in your head. I swear it will. So I stopped going on that site years ago.
What is that?
A site that shows death.
What is this website you guys are talking about?
It's a website that shows death, but
like
just don't show it
stuff.
around me. Don't even look at it. Don't look at it in front around me. I'm serious.
What is it called, guys?
I just told you.
Rotten what? Just rotten?
Rotten.com. Don't put in the website in front of you.
I'm going away.
And you're still going to it right here, dude. I'm gonna kick you off stream.
My phone is not in your face.
It doesn't matter. I told you not to go on the website in front of me. Or in my presence, period. I can't have that shit in my head. I literally went, here's what happened, right? So I went on Rotten.com and it took me years to get these demons and shit out of my head. So I went on Rotten.com, I used to just look at all these death pictures and I would be like, yo, I don't ever want to die.
That's why people are afraid of death.
I'm not finished with the story. Hold up.
My armpits are
I click on one of the posts and the dude's hand was caught in the garbage disposal. I kid you not, literally I would say for literally like 3 years straight.
No, that just made me think of what you said today or
Just be
yesterday.
quiet. You just ruined the story.
No, that made me think
You just
of what
ruined
you
my
said
shit. I'm sitting over here
yesterday.
trying to tell some serious shit and you're over laughing like a child.
Keep saying it.
No, I'm cool. I'm straight.
Guys, the reason why I'm
straight.
laughing.
Don't say nothing. Don't tell my shit. Let's leave it alone. Dude, you fucked it all up.
You don't want me to say?
No, it's none of your business now.
But I was laughing because something happened yesterday.
Ain't nothing happened, so just leave it alone. So why you keep talking about it? Nothing's funny.
You are so extra today. Finish the story.
I'm not finishing shit.
Just give him like
That's what happens when I get interrupted.
5 minutes.
I still won't say it. The fuck you talking
You
about?
will. So I ruined the story because I laughed?
Yup. Because there was nothing to fucking laugh about. That's what I'm talking about. He's a kid, dude. Get the fuck out of this stream.
Babe, I'm sorry. Can you tell the story?
No, I'm not telling you shit.
Why?
Ain't nothing funny about this shit.
It wasn't funny.
Ain't nothing
I
funny.
wasn't
You're
laughing
interrupting
at
my
your
matches.
story.
Don't talk to me.
Okay,
I'm trying to play.
I wasn't
I'm trying to
interrupting
play.
your
Don't
story.
talk. I'm trying to play.
Exactly. I was laughing at.
There's nothing you guys could say. There's nothing you guys could say. I would never tell this story. Her ass was in dead wrong for laughing at the shit. Ain't nothing funny. Be quiet. You fucking up my motherfucking match. The fuck wrong with you, dude? Oh, you niggas still trying to get that story, right? So, all right, I'll tell the story. So basically what happened was, I used to be an avid person that went on fucking Rotten.com and shit, right? All right, now you got to wait till the next shit. So I was an avid person that went on Rotten.com. We used to go on a lot of shit, you know. It didn't freak me out or anything, but it was just one thing that freaked me out. If she laugh, it don't matter. I'll just stop telling the story. I ain't tripping. And if she does, she just trying to show out for the stream.
I'm not laughing.
I guarantee you that's what it's for. But
I swear. No, I don't.
All right, I'm already annoyed. All right, so let me finish the quick little story or whatever. Regardless if she laughs or not, I'm gonna just finish it. Basically, what popped off is I was watching the websites, watching a bunch of shit. Ran into a post that said something about a garbage disposal. Seen the post with the garbage disposal, right? It was a hand that was just in there, just twisted, mutilated, everything like that. It was destroyed. From that point on, I kid you not, literally for years straight, there would be something in my head telling me to stick my hand in the garbage disposal. Every time I go near a garbage disposal, it would be like I would almost do it, but I wouldn't. And I felt like it was just like demons in my head telling me to put my hand in the fucking garbage disposal. I think that website is some satanic ass shit. That's why I say don't go on Rotten.com. It took me years to get those voices out of my head telling me to stick my hand in the garbage disposal. I'm not making this shit up or anything like that. Of course I didn't do it, but it just felt like, you know, you got something, you're battling something. So that's all the story was. That's why I say don't go on Rotten.com.
Can I say something?
The fuck you need to say?
I'm gonna say that I think there's a lot of people that feel like they want to put their hand in a garbage disposal because they want to see what happens. Because I've used to think like that too.
I don't want to see what happens. I've seen what happens.
Oh.
All right, so there was this girl I'll never forget. I was in 7th grade. Her name was Stephanie. She lived in my apartment complex. I thought she probably looked like shit now, but back then, you know, I'm a kid. I thought she was one of the sexiest white girls I ever seen. Her name was Stephanie. We were both in the fucking 7th grade. She was your typical ice queen, blonde hair, blue eyes, but she had a real raspy voice. And believe it or not, she would smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Her whole fucking family was just like typical, like, I don't like to say white trash, but that style. But she could come outside whenever she wanted. I remember she fucked with this like older guy, like when we were in 7th grade. She had like a boyfriend in like his 20s. His name was Scooter or some shit. But it was this older Mexican dude that would come over, and her mom was cool with her fucking with like a grown fucking man. Like I used to see her with the guy or whatever, and it was this older guy named Scooter. The nigga had a car and everything. We were in the 7th grade. And she be in a car kicking it with him, everything like that. Long story short, I ended up seeing her at the park. We're kids. There was like this slide area. You know how every apartment complex got a slide area, shit like that. Fucking, I was like, yeah, I gotta tell you something. She's like, what's that? She had a real, like, raspy voice. I was like, I kind of have a crush. She's like, oh, that's cute. Like, you're a cutie. She's like, I don't normally fuck with black guys, but she's like, for you, I'll make an exception, blah, blah, blah. I remember my haircut. Nigga, I had a fake earring because I wasn't allowed to get my ears pierced. So I had you know how it's like a keychain and it has all the links to it? So what I used to do, I wasn't allowed to have an earring, so I would go to the United States where I would steal keychains that have the links, and I would break them apart and I would squeeze them on my ear like I had one loop. Or I would get like a fake ring and I'd twist off the bullshit part, take the ring part and squeeze it on my ear. So I had like this fake ass, like this, this fake ass little loop. So any fucking ways, I'm like, and my mom used to shave my hair ski bald. Like I had no hair. She would just shave my shit all bald. Like that's how I would get a haircut. My shit was just straight up bald, no hair on my fucking head. Anyways, we ended up getting cool, long story short. She would come over to the house, my mom was gone, everything, because my mom was always working. That was the first time I tried a cancer stick was with her. In the 7th grade, I never tried a cancer stick ever in my life again. Long story short, one of my homies named Alex, one of my Hispanic homies, he ended up coming over having a crush on her. He's like, oh, you fuck with Stephanie? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's cool. We're both like in the same fucking class too. So he started like low-key trying to like mack her and shit like that. Anyways, I didn't care. She was just like,
So she's like, the thing is, she's like, I want to fuck with you, but she's like, I also want to fuck with your homie Alex too. Like, we could be in like this triple relationship thing. Like, when I tell you this chick was in a 7th grade talking like this, I remember it like it was yesterday. She's like, is it cool, like, if I kiss both of you? Like, how about I kiss? Maybe I shouldn't be telling these type of stories. Like, bitch was on poly shit where we were in a 7th grade. Like, look, there was this one time we were both kicking it with her. I was dumb enough to agree. I said, all right, fuck it. I was like, we're friends. Like, why not? He's like, fuck yeah. Like, we both fuck with Stephanie. Like, that's, like, it's not a problem. Like, we're both homies. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Bro, we ended up, like, both, like, fucking with this bitch. Like, being in this quote-unquote fake ass. I mean, if you're in the 7th grade, not in a real relationship, any fucking ways. We end up fucking with her. This bitch wanted to do a triple kiss. I was like, fuck no. I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I remember like it was yesterday. I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit. I was like, I'm not doing no fucking triple kiss, fool. Because that was before I started saying nigga. I just used to always say fool. So I'm like, fuck no, fool. I was like, I'm not doing no fucking triple kiss, fool. So, anyways, she's like, all right, well, how about I kiss you first, then I'll kiss Alex. I was like, all right. Tongued her up. We used to call it scamming back then. Tongued her up. Then she tongued up Alex. Anyways, we was both fucking with the bitch, but I don't know. The bitch ended up just like, she ended up fucking with that older guy again. I never fucked or anything like that. Cause I was like scared to do anything, like to go the full 9 when I was a kid. So it was just more about gripping asses, you know, pussy play and things like that. But anyway, she ended up fucking with the grown man again, dumping me and Alex. She ended up fucking with like some extra grown nigga when we were in the 7th grade. She ended up getting back with that guy, moving. We never heard from her again. So yeah, there's that.
Like, you got chicks broadcasting themselves on social media talking about they bought a house with OnlyFans. Like, to me, there's so many things and red flags I look for that will make a chick unfucking wifeable. I'll never forget the time I was talking to this chick, right? And you know, we were fucking around for a minute. She really liked me, blah, blah, blah. You know, she was a cute chick, but I had to tell her a couple of things about herself. Caught her on foul a couple of times. Told her about that. Pussy didn't have a scent anymore. Caught her with dandruff in her scalp. Told her about that. I never seen dandruff again because I told her about it. Lips was chapped. Told her about that. Then she worked on her lips. I don't know. I just seem like I make people nervous. And then, so we would have little conversations, and this is how I get shit out of chicks too. So this is how I do. I like go into psychological shit. I get real psychological when I talk to chicks. So I told her, I was like, I said, well, you seem like a freak. I was like, man, what's the freakiest shit you ever done? Like, you know, I think it's really sexy to, you know, you're on some freaky shit. I said, you ever had a threesome before? She was like, yeah, I had a threesome. She told me about it casually. She's like, yeah, I had a threesome. I had a threesome before, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you had a threesome with 2 dudes? And I like act like it was cool. And then she was like, yeah, like I had a threesome with 2 dudes. And it was like, it was weird because it was like this guy I was talking to, and he asked me like, did I want to have a threesome with him and his military buddy? And it was like in a Scion. It was so crazy. And I'm thinking in my head like, all right, bitch. And I put like a check mark in my head, but I played it off and everything like that. And, you know, I act like it wasn't that big of a deal. And I was like, that's crazy. It's like, shit, you ever have a threesome with like 2 chicks and a dude? And she was like, yeah. I was like, man, what? I said, so you was in a crazy position where your face was in her vagina, you was eating her pussy, and you was getting backshotted too? And then she was just like, yeah. I was like, damn, that's just extra freaky. So my face just morphs. It's almost like I just turned into a different person. My face went blank. And I was like, you're unwifeable. And then she just stared at me and was like, huh? I said, you are completely unwifeable. I said, you had a threesome both ways. You've been backshotted while sucking dick at the same time. You've been busted on by 2 dicks, by 2 niggas with 2 dicks and 4 balls collectively have busted a nut all over your face. I said you've had your face and vagina while getting backshotted. You've eaten pussy. I said you are fucking unwifable. I said there's nothing that I can do with you. And she cried to like one of her homegirls that I know. She cried to one of her homegirls about me and all that type of shit. But I had to give her the real. I mean, she got a new boyfriend and all that type of shit, because most of these cucks don't ask these questions. Me, I need to know if you've had threesomes, if you fucked with a bitch, because I like to play psychological games with these chicks. If you do one thing or say one thing, I'm a red flag you. Period. Do one fucking thing, I'm a red flag you. You take selfies every day on Instagram, I'm red flagging. You twerk, I'm red flagging. Ass pics, red flagging. Talk to multiple niggas, red flagging. Had threesomes, red flagging. It's just too many things I'm red flagging. Dandruff, red flagging. Pussy foul, red flagging. Chapped lips, red flagging. I don't have time to build a bitch. We having a fucking session. You know, you start queefing, red flagging. Of course, skegma, red flagging. You already know what it is.
So I can't really judge these 2 niggas for something that I did. You feel me? Kai just happened to be in the shower with Speed, which is his homie. I was in the shower with my cousin, but we had a chick in the middle of us dumping honey on her and shit like that. My cousin sucking one titty, I'm sucking on the bitch's neck. He got one titty, I got one titty. We sucking honey off her titty and shit. Chocolate syrup. But we didn't like fuck her though. We didn't fuck her though. But nigga wasn't nobody kissing, bro. Wasn't nobody kissing nobody, bro. You said what was me and my cousin on? What was Kai and Speed on? I mean, fuck you talking about? Nah, it wasn't no honey packs around. Daughter's 4, I don't know. I wouldn't know. Oh yeah, for what? Passed honey from tongue to tongue? Nigga, I didn't say we had honey on each other. Nigga, I said we dumped honey on a chick. He dumped honey on one of her titties. Bro, bitches got 2 titties if you didn't know. He dumped honey on one titty. I dumped honey on the other titty. He's sucking one titty with honey. I'm sucking one titty with honey. We get the chocolate syrup, start sprinkling it all over the bitch. We just like, he got one side of her body, I got one side of her body. That's basically it. and niggas was in the shower with it on, you know. The fuck? Wasn't nothing fruity about that shit. It's not like niggas ran a train or anything. The fuck? Niggas definitely didn't too, man. Was it a get? Fuck no. Why do y'all niggas want to know what ethnicity she was? Like, why does that matter? So you could be disgusted with whatever ethnicity it was? Nah. Every time I tell a story, niggas ask what ethnicity it is. Let me tell you, 99.9% of the stories, it will never be a black chick. So that should kind of answer your question. There was this one girl that I knew some years ago, right? I asked her for it. I was like, let me get a pic. She's like, I'm on vacation. I was like, cool. I was like, you mind sending me a sexy pic? So she says, all right. Now me, no normal nigga is gonna do this. Hold on, I'll tell you guys when I'm done. All right, let's get back to the story. So, there was this chick from some years ago, right? So, she said she was on vacation. I was like, cool. I was like, you know, let me see you in your sexy getup. You said you was going to Cancun, you know, let me see you in your, you know, your fucking 2-piece and all that type of shit. So, any normal nigga, right?
any normal, hold on, excuse my French, because this is a multicultural stream. Any normal man, right, would have seen this picture and been like, oh shit. You know, she had her bikini on, titties bustier. And I said bustier because her boobs were fake. You know, sexy looking Latina woman, girl, whatever the fuck you want to call her. So me being the intricate nigga that I am, I take my phone, I look at the picture, I stare at it for a second. I don't know why I did this because I'm just very, you know, observant. I zoom in the pic and I see dandruff all in her scalp. And I know it wasn't sand from the beach. And I was like, oh. And I zoom back in, I zoom out, I look again, zoom in, zoom back out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom out, zoom in again, and I still see the caked up dandruff all in her scalp with the titties bustier up. And wow. Let me tell you guys something. Just because a girl might be bad or sexy doesn't mean her pussy won't stink. Doesn't mean her ass won't smell like you just rubbed a Cheeto across their anus. Or she might have dandruff or her breath might fucking stink. Or she might have queef pussy. Don't put chicks on a pedestal. Fuck them first. Do I stick my tongue in a hole? Tongue bang in a pussy? Yeah, if it's fresh and clean. But I gotta really be feeling the girl to tongue bang. I'm not just tongue banging any normal. I gotta really be feeling. You gotta earn that tongue bang. You only tongue bang women that you really feeling. You don't just tongue bang a regular that you just smashing real quick. I call it tongue bang. When you could tongue bang a vagina, you know it's fresh and clean. That's what makes you want to do it. What population of women got a stanky vag? I would say about 90% of women walking the globe got a stank ass pussy. That's true. Some pussies do. If you suck the clit for too long, it's like you're sucking on a copper penny. I dead ass think that 90% of vaginas stink on this planet. I haven't fucked a really fat girl, but I fucked a big bitch. But she knew how to like hide. She knew how to hide her rolls and shit, you know? She's one of them big bitches that would like hide her calves by wearing high boots. And she would wear like scarves around the top of her body and like those long, what are those long sweaters, cardigans? So she knew how to hide the blubber a little bit. But one time I had her on the edge of the bed. This was probably like, damn, this shit was so long ago. When I had my first apartment, I had her on the edge of the bed because she was so fat. Even though I had a BBC, she was so fat. Well, so thick, I'll say. I had to get leverage. So I had to have her legs propped all the way up on the edge of the bed. And I just had to grab them and slide in to make sure I got the extra leverage because she had all this extra meat and blubber. So I had to grab her thighs and stroke. And after I got her in that position, she scared me off because after she went home that day, she texted me and said, I'm starting to like you. After that, I only wanted to meet up for top. Now her top game, the top game was phenomenal. She put her mouth on your dick, it would just melt like Hershey's on a hot summer day. As soon as she put her mouth on your tip, it just sizzling like you're like, and you just like, just twitching, just like a cyborg that just lost its power source. You just, but sometimes you'll get those chicks that'll challenge you. You know, I had a bitch that only wanted to be doggy style. I was like, she would start off, she'd be like, put it in from the back, I said, okay. I was like, flip over. She's like, no, I meant from the side to back. I was like, I said, that's like married sex. That's like, but look. So, back to the story. The bitch only wanted to do side fucking. I was like, we'd be laying there. She'd be like, you got me so wet. I'd be like, for real? Grab the pussy. Literally, it's like hand sanitizer oozing all over my hand. I'm like, pussy juices, cream, everything. Sniff, no smell. I'm like, damn. I slide it in from the side. She's like, all right, keep going. I was like, all right, we got to flip over. She only would want to be fucked from the side or from the back. Missionary, she wasn't fucking with it, but it was so much cream. It was almost like I was making Cool Whip. Like, I was stroking, I would hear shit. This is what I kept hearing. I was stroking, I'm like. And I was like, damn, what the fuck does this bitch just have? This bitch just have some Kool-Aid or a Starbucks? Because you know when you drink stuff and you hear the liquid in your stomach? And I was like, I looked down and I just seen like anybody ever been to a foam party? I just seen foam. I was like, went ahead, made her bust 2 or 3 nuts. She was like, from the back, of course. She's like, oh my God. Hold on, let me demonstrate. You know, she was one of those bitches that just loved to be roughed it. So I'm just stroking her deep. She bust. She's like, so once I got a reaction, you know, I put it at an angle and I was like, and she's like, come up. Damn, Dexter, you stayed on the bed? Come up. All right, listen. I don't gotta lie, bitch ass nigga. We gonna get you banned too. Trust me, I don't lie about nothing. I never cap when it comes to sex, nigga. She's like, I came on your dick like 3 times. Gets up, she looks at her pussy and just sees like a bubble bath in her vagina area. That's how much cream it was. It was just a foam bubble bath. I know, look at Dex. He like, damn, my nigga, how come you don't ever let me in the room when you're doing this? I'm sorry, Dex. No animals when I'm performing. Thank you. Women could be sex offenders? I don't know, because I don't know, that's kind of tricky. Because if I say a chick raped me, my dick still got hard. If she just says, lay there and I'm gonna suck your cock now. And I'm just like, no. You forced to suck me off. I busted a nut. Hey, you did it against my will. Nah. Nigga, like, no. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that shit. I don't know. It's like, I really don't believe that if females had the strength of men, maybe I would consider them a sex offender. But come on, man. Like, if you're, like, even a 12-year-old boy, like, when I was 12, if a woman was doming me up, I knew what the fuck I was doing. Nigga, if I was 7 years old and a woman was sucking me up against my will, I know I'm getting head, and I'm most likely gonna like it. So no woman could technically like force you to do something because our dicks are gonna get hard. So against my will, my dick's gonna get hard. If I'm getting crazy top against my will and I bust, but then I still say that you forcefully blew me, you know, I say a woman forcefully blew my dick. I don't know. When it comes to women and sex offenders, I feel like I feel like the age where a boy knows exactly what he's doing is like 12 and up. 13 and up. 13 and up, we know a boy knows, we know what the fuck the deal is. 13 and up, we know what we're doing. Because kids, they'll keep doing it. Like all the fucking stories about teachers doing shit to these fucking young dudes. Like they kept fucking these teachers and then told their friends, and then that's how it got out. Like they knew what the fuck they was doing. How can you be drugged and still get a hard mode? I don't know. I just think that a woman can't force a man to do shit because we have more strength over him. I mean, yeah, they could threaten you with weapons and shit, but regardless of the fact, if a woman starts topping you off and your dick gets hard enough to bust, how is that rape? How is that forceful? Let's just use me as an example. Let's use me as an example. I mean, there was no teachers ever in history for me that was even remotely fuckable. But let's use me as an example. You know, I'm getting out of my car. You know, wait, hold on. I'm done with the gym. I'm going to my car. Two bitches pull up in a big ass Escalade like, bitch ass nigga, get in. And point guns at me. You gonna fuck all of us, nigga. And I'm like, are y'all serious? Nigga, did I say get in the fucking car? And I'd be like, oh shit, like these bitches serious. Like I don't want to do it. And the next thing you know, they knock me out with the pistol. I wake up and I'm ass naked, chained to a bed. And I'm just like, what the fuck? The fuck y'all doing? Let me the fuck go. What do y'all got down? Fuck! I got too much to fucking live for. Shit! Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. We just all want to suck your dick, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Now, if you move and squirm, I blow that bitch off. Or my homegirl gonna slice one of your balls off. Or you could fuck all three of us, bust in us, and we can let you go on about your merry day. So I'm just to the chair, and I'm like, fuck. Like, nigga, sit still. And they just start sucking me up. I'm like,